Friends, the budget has received, in my view, a support which I did not expect in the first instance on account of the taxation proposals contained in it. I shall deal with the budget estimates on the expenditure side first and then with the revenue side. With regard to expenditure, I do agree that we are now spending 4 times what we were doing before the war. It was suggested that private enterprise should be given greater scope and that government activity should be restricted. I know there are some people who feel that government interference should be the least. Now we have got to consider whether it is necessary for the government to undertake all the activities which we are now undertaking. We shall take, for example, education. We are spending 40 crores of rupees on education. I hope it will not be argued that this expenditure should be restricted and that expansion of educational facilities should be left entirely to private enterprise. Similarly, I am sure that everyone will agree with me that the activities relating to law and order and public health cannot be left entirely to private enterprise. I agree that when we spend large sums of money, it is necessary to see that the money is not used in a way which is likely to waste. I entirely agree that we must have proper check and supervision at all levels. But it is one thing to say that we should have check at all levels and another to have a really effective check. In spite of the best efforts, we have found that there is a certain amount of waste in expenditure, but that is inevitable. This is so in the case of private enterprise also. When we draw up a plan and execute it, we have also to control the prices of goods. When we talk about the control of prices, it is not as if every article in the country should be controlled. The control is only with reference to essential articles. So far as I am concerned, I do not mind what a man pays for his car or how much it costs him to maintain it. I am concerned with the essential articles which are necessary for the common man. We must draw up a scheme by which the prices of such articles will be kept at a reasonable level. We have had several plans and these plans are expected to benefit different parts of the country. Of course, it cannot be said that each part of the country is benefited by each plan. That is not possible. But the idea is to reach as much as possible and it cannot be done at one time. In successive plans, we are trying to go as far as possible. The plans are expected to raise the standard of living and we are hoping that we shall be able to see the results better and more fully as time passes. In course of time, our economic condition will improve. There are difficulties at the present moment. I shall now deal with certain points touched upon with reference to education. In the coming years, we will have to take important decisions in regard to education in its varied stages. As regards elementary education, this matter has been referred to a committee. When that committee makes its recommendations, we shall examine them and then we shall be able to take decisions. The Secondary Education Commission has made recommendations for the reorganization of secondary education. It may be possible to give effect to those recommendations with the aid of the central government. While I greatly appreciate these attempts at improving quality, we have to be on guard against two dangers. The first is to ensure that our efforts to increase quality did not result in expenditure beyond our means. I agree that good education cannot be had cheaply. At the same time, we must also remember that an education which costs more is not necessarily better. Scientific research may cost more money, but large amounts can also be spent on marble floors to laboratories, which may increase the cost. So we must ensure that such causes which increase the costs are avoided and the cost per student is reduced to the minimum possible. Institutes like yours should evolve methods to avoid wasteful expenditure and to make the best use of the available facilities and to reduce costs as far as possible. I shall now refer to the problem of unemployment. I would ask whether there is greater unemployment than during the last year. There was failure of monsoon last year and the agricultural industry was very much affected. We must remember that the majority of our people are engaged in agriculture. When that industry was affected, unemployment spread to other industries also. We have had normal monsoons in the current year. It means that we will have normal agricultural operations this year. Therefore, there should be greater employment in the agricultural sector also. Dear sir, thank you very much for your letter of yesterday expressing your intention to call on me this morning to have a discussion on our filing cabinets required by you. While thanking you for the letter, I am sorry to state that I was not in when you called today at my residence, though I desired to discuss the matter with you in detail. Unfortunately, I was forced to meet the general manager of our concern on urgent business and thus miss the pleasure of having your esteemed company. As regards your requirements about which we wanted to have discussion with you, we are glad to announce that we have just recently installed the only set and regret our inability to supply your order for at least another month to come. Coming to the terms and conditions prescribed by our concern, a special discount of 5% is allowed to all individual orders in excess of rupees 2000. For prompt cash payment within 7 days, we generally allow a discount of 1% to our customers. In this connection, it may not be out of place for us to mention that we have had numerous enquiries about our goods. But owing to scarcity of stocks, we could not execute the orders within the stipulated time. Our representative will certainly get into touch with you sooner or later when the replacement of the filing equipment is taken. With reference to the order placed by us with your firm a couple of months ago for supply of steel chairs, we have not so far been enlightened with the circumstances that forced you to delay the delivery of the goods, even though they are required urgently at this end. It is presumed that you will be able to meet the supply at your earliest convenience if it has not been dispatched already. On receipt of the same, we shall be pleased to send you a check in full settlement. We are eagerly looking forward to your visit and kind patronage. On hearing from you, necessary arrangements will be made for the delivery of goods. Yours faithfully.